Hey guys, welcome to the 2024 Beijing Motor Show, and I'm here with MINI once again, and of course with Oliver Heilmer, the head of design at MINI, because we have another new MINI to show, and this time it's an all-electric MINI Aceman. All right. So tell me, what's the Aceman all about? I've seen the concept car, and now we finally see the production series.
Actually, the Aceman is, you know, we do have the MINI Cooper, and we were talking about the MINI Countryman that became slightly bigger for luggage, for the family purpose.
Yep.
And that literally gave us the space for the MINI Aceman. So the MINI Aceman is a little bit bigger than 4 meters, so like really short, but it has really sufficient space for 5 people and luggage. And it is the youngest, and let's say the youngest family member, and therefore we said, okay, this is the most edgy character, the most fresh character. Yeah. That's what the Aceman showcases.
Sure.
It's a crossover, and yeah, it's different to the MINI Cooper and as well to the MINI Countryman.
So how is it different though? Because if you look at the MINI Cooper EV and at this one, there are a lot of similarities. So are there specific things that you would like to point out that separates the two, aside from the proportion, size, and all of that?
So from a form language, you already see that there is a difference, right? It is self-confident in the form language. You see how we are treating the bonnet, how we are treating kind of details. Actually, the details are closer to the MINI Cooper.
Okay.
The headlights obviously are different, right? They're bigger, they're more upright. It's like a young child having bigger eyes. But the main differences you're gonna find in the side perspective. As you can see as well, there's some, I would say, subtle hints connecting to the original MINI Cooper. You see this little gesture here, which is kind of an homage to the original one, to the 60s MINI, where you did have this kind of partition, right?
Yep.
But the rest basically has its own form language. You see that the wheel arches, which we call spats, do have a certain dynamic. So it's 1, 2, 3, and then more upright in the rear. The same above the rear wheel. What you feel is that that this car has much more muscles above the wheel arches. So we took much more emphasis to those areas. So that's different. What you see as well is that this Aceman has cladding.
So the cladding is a lot higher than on the other models.
It's basically a lot higher, and it kind of supports that kind of elevated seating, what we wanted to achieve for that kind of segment.
But let me ask you this, because I've seen some of the feedback yesterday regarding the cladding, and for some reason people feel like every time you use that cladding, it kind of cheapens the product, doesn't elevate it. So was this more of a styling piece, functional piece?
It's actually both. So first of all, it helps us in terms of proportion to kind of let it appear lighter, right? And at the same time, let it appear more robust. But the advantage is, with this generation, when you're choosing the JCW trim, for instance, all those parts will be in black high gloss.
Gotcha.
So in terms of value, then you're gonna have like a really high-end MINI Aceman.
Which trim are we looking at here?
So that is the favorite trim.
It's the favorite trim, okay.
It's the communication color, which we call Rebel Red.
Rebel Red, okay.
And that, you see, it's a perfect match to the interior, where we are playing with the same kind of orange combined with this kind of, what is it, petrol?
Yep.
So that's a perfect match. All the elements outside are held in vibrant silver.
Okay.
So that's always the kind of the indication for the favorite trim, regardless of the model we have.
Let's go take a look in the back. Maybe let's see if we can go to the crowds here. What's different in the back compared to, let's say, the Cooper, for example?
So the main difference in the back, first of all, when you're standing exactly behind it, you see we took a lot of attention to, to that width, to the shoulders. There's strong shoulders. We do have a kind of a really straight connection towards the road. You know, Horatio stance is always important.
It is,
But actually the difference is that the number plates are not in the trunk lid as we have it in the MINI Cooper, but below. And that's the connection, that's a crossover connection between the Countryman and the Aceman. And that gave us a chance first to kind of like really leave the space open for the MINI logo and the Aceman letter, but as well creating that flush kind of integration of the bumper, which is always which kind of lifts up the perception of value a lot.
And also the cladding in the back kind of the overall theme to go with the side and all of that? Okay.
Yeah.
Because I guess that's one question people ask, okay, why is there cladding there?
Actually, it's a higher car, right? So that's...
So you want to emphasize height, basically?
Exactly, yeah. You kind of try to divide those surfaces in order to get the proper proportion. But as I mentioned in the side perspective, when the customer is choosing the JCW trim, it's going to be different in terms of, not just in terms of the color, black high gloss, but as well in terms of geometry.
Got it. Okay. Roof line different than on the Cooper?
Yes, longer, but the rear window is faster.
Okay.
So less steep.
So this is more of a fast back type of approach.
More. So here we paid a lot of attention to being different to the Countryman again, right? The Countryman has a way more steep kind of rear window. Mm-hmm. But what you see here is what's important always is this rear spoiler. And you know it, as we are talking about a electric vehicle, the aerodynamics are really important.
Sure.
So that's the reason why the roof is longer.
Now, since this is built on an electric platform, just like the J01,
exactly.
What kind of advantages gave you inside designing the car?
So inside, what you really feel, as I mentioned, it's roughly above 4 meters.
Yeah.
The interior is really big. So we kind of took all the advantages that we got from the fact that it's an electric purpose platform, that you're gonna have a lot of space, not just in the first seat row, but as well in the second seat row. So me as a person, 1.80 meters, I could sit in the front as well as in the rear. And then in the trunk, you really have enough space to get your luggage in.
Yeah,
so see,
you don't even have to fold them down.
It's way bigger, and it's, I think, it's for the purpose. Imagine that you're living in an urban environment, the urban jungle, so how we call it, and that's what you have then for your daily use.
Yeah. Understood. Okay. So inside, are there any differences compared to the other two models? Something that you can pinpoint? Clearly, we're getting a 9.4-inch OLED, which is a staple right now in the lineup. I can see the fabric on the dashboard as well. Right. Anything else that's different from the J01?
Actually, so the geometry of the dashboard is different because we're sitting elevated as a passenger,
higher.
right? So the dashboard is more upright.
If you can squeeze in here. Here we go. You can see now.
It has more, robustness in terms of geometry. Sure. The big difference you're going to see already are the doors, right? The doors, as a crossover, they do have like grab handles.
Okay, I see them right there.
It's not just a grab handle where you can grab it from the rear, but as well from top. So from every perspective.
So both. The ergonomics are quite good then, basically. Yeah.
I think it was important, Ratio, that we said, okay, a Mini needs to remain a Mini in interior. So basically, you will find the same small, thick steering wheel. You mentioned the display already, the OLED and the toggle bar, and this is something that we would like to really take through all our models as a unifier.
Sure. So I do have a question for you regarding the fabric, because I've seen it quite a bit now. I've been talking about these Minis for quite some time right now.
Yeah.
And the number one question I'm getting right now is, how durable is that fabric? And we've talked about this in the past a little bit, but do you feel like it will be a lot harder to maintain this type of fabric on the dashboard? Because people are asking me, well, they're going to be dust, dust going to go in, it's going to be easy to clean. I'm assuming you've done some durability testing.
Absolutely. So first of all, as you can imagine, premium OEM, we are testing everything. Even things that you don't imagine are being tested.
Throwing things at it to see if it sticks.
So that's important. That was kind of the main driver, right? So we were really sorting out with the engineers how bright are we able to get in order to being cleaned. Actually, it's interestingly, it's easier to clean than let's say a normal kind of flat surface.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah. Very interesting.
Yeah.
So now, we're coming to an end, but let me ask you this as well. It's always tough to pick your favorite child. So now you have 3 of them. Which one would you pick?
Oh, that's not fair.
Because now
we were talking about that.
We've talked about this, and now we see all 3 of them.
3 kids.
Yeah, 3 kids.
What are you gonna do?
I mean, honestly, if I would pick this one, and I'll tell you why.
Yeah.
I love the J01. It's a little bit too small for me as a first car. If it was a second car, I would love it.
Yeah.
Countryman, it's a little bit of a departure from the traditional Mini. It's more of a grown-up SUV, which is fine. But this is still somewhat Mini in many ways, yet practical, and it's all EV. So to me, this would be the perfect choice if you come to the US. But tell me which one would you pick? You know, and there are no right or wrong answers here either.
Okay, try my best. So. I pretty much agree with you. Why? Because me personally, I would like to tend to the MINI Cooper, but my circumstances, as yours, are like, okay, sometimes you need more space. And my daily commute is through the entire city, and I really like this kind of, being as agile as possible, finding parking spots. So, to be honest, maybe this would be my choice as well.
Which one is your company car right now?
I do have a MINI Countryman at the moment.
Okay, so MINI Countryman. It's practical. If you get the EV version, the SE, absolutely practical, but this is so mean in many, many ways, and to me it's also a good replacement to the Clubman, right?
Yeah.
Because I do love the Clubman. I gotta say it was a really nice practical car, very iconic.
Absolutely.
And this is the next best thing, basically. So I can't wait to actually drive you next year and see what he can do.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, it's looks like
Which
fun.
color would you choose?
So I've only seen this one, and I've seen the yellow one and the blue one, right? So I think they were
the green. So you're gonna have the British Racing green as well, the Legend gray.
Okay.
You can have black. Nanook white is pretty nice.
I'm gonna go with this one. I'll tell you why, because it reminds me of my 1M, which is Valencia orange. And in many, many ways, it's quite similar. So might as well go all orange,
Perfect.
Orange is the new black too,
Right.
So I think that would be the right choice. But always a pleasure.
As always.
Yeah, always. We'll see you next time.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
See you.
Cheers.